Bitcoin only has 21 million coins. That's it. They can't print more, it's 21 million. What if they every 4 years reduce the amounts that comes into the ecosystem? Because it's programmed, it's programmable money. So currently there's roughly 18, 19 million in circulations. A lot of are lost as well. Every few transactions, a block is created with data. Blockchain, they get put together. So essentially for the miners, the computers that helps the network, because it's decentralized, it's not centralized like the banks has all the power. Bitcoin is decentralized, which means the power is actually the computers and people all across the world that supports the network. Now, if you verify a transaction, you get paid a fee. That fee is getting cut in half every 4 years. That, my friends, are the Bitcoin halving. Now, the question, of course, is, this is all great, Dennis, but what do you think will happen if there's a cap, 21 million? But what if they release less and less Bitcoin into the ecosystem, and at the same time, the demand increases? So essentially, the price will go up, which is why Bitcoin has gone from about 30 cents to a high of $67,000. And I'm going to explain to you why we believe this is just the beginning, and why this is very exciting for you in the coming years as well. But now is the time to learn. So if you haven't already, make sure you become an IM Insider. So press the link below, become an IM Insider, join our exclusive community where you will learn exactly how to get started with cryptos, our famous PCA strategy, so you can actually learn exactly how to get started in a safe way with a safe strategy. So do that now without any further ado. You should care because in the previous halving events, one of the previous ones in 2012 sent Bitcoin soaring more than you can ever imagine. And then, of course, we saw another one in 2016, and then another one in 2020, and now in 2024. So just to give you context there, in 2012, Bitcoin went from $12 all the way up to $1,000. You can imagine what could have happened if you just invested a little bit in this. Well, then in 2016, it went from $650 to over $20,000. So let's take this as an easy example. So let's say it went from $1,000 up to $20,000. That's 20 times your money. If you've invested $10,000, that would have turned into $200,000. It's 20 times your money. Now, I just have to ask you, wouldn't you want to do that? And we believe that is just the beginning, by the way. And some altcoins, smaller cryptocurrencies, not Bitcoin, they went up hundreds of thousands of percent, turning $1,000 into $1 million. I'm telling you this because we are not missing this. We missed the Bitcoin back in 2012 and 2009, especially when it was first created, but we are not missing this now. So when we talk about the market volatility and prediction, because a lot of people tell us, Dennis, there's a lot of volatility. Well, that's the first thing, right? It's a lot of volatility. But the volatility is our friend. That's the only reason we can make money. Because if it was just beep, how could we make money? And people do tell me, Dennis, it's too high risk. I don't want to do this. Well, if you know that something has gone from 30 cents to 67,000, don't you want to look a little bit closer to it? Especially with everything that is happening in the world. We have banks collapsing across the world. We have recessions. We have currencies they're printing endless amounts of money for. We have inflation, you name it. So this could be a hedge for that as well. The scarcity and value we already covered. The scarcity is really, really good. So the question is, of course, what you can do. Bitcoin, many think, are the kind of the gold, the digital gold. So not physical gold, right, but digital instead. And that's also one of the reasons it's going up rapidly. But I need to tell you this. What if you saw something that is increasing more than 112% faster, the adoption, 112% faster than the internet? Well, if you found that, what would you do? And also, if you know that it was scarce. Well, that's Bitcoin, by the way. So how can you prepare? Well, now is the time. Number one, research, educate yourself on Bitcoin. That's what you're doing now. I'm trying to give you glimpses of this. But when you become an IM Insider, we have an entire course for you. So you can educate a lot more. So what people do is they mortgage their house, put everything in. That's the craziest thing you can do, and outright stupid. And I'm sorry if you've done that. I mean, I've done it too. So I was once upon a time because nobody taught me financial education. But now, obviously, with more information, we don't do that. We don't put all our money in. Not only that, when the market goes down, we actually buy more. So but only in assets that we believe had a tremendous upside potential, and Bitcoin is definitely one of those. So educate yourself. Number 2, diversify your portfolio as well. Now, diversification is key. So, for example, we put roughly 20-30% of our assets or net worth into cryptocurrencies. The rest we put into stocks, into properties, into trading, into other assets. So don't put all your eggs into one basket. Number 3, make sure you consider long-term strategy. There is a reason why there are most millionaires created from properties. Well, maybe business as well, right? But properties. Because you cannot sell a property on emotions. It takes time. But with Bitcoin, people buy when it's up here and then they sell when it's at the bottom, at the time when they should have bought. So with that in mind, we want to consider long-term investment strategies like the PCA in the beginning, so you don't need to focus so much on your emotions and your mind. Instead, you can focus on just being in it for the long term and buy when it's low, and then you can sell when it's high. But time needs to do the heavy lifting here. And also, prepare for market volatility, which is very common here. So don't be afraid if it's up too much or down too, well, up too much I don't think is a problem, but down too much. Because if it falls down, it's down quite a bit, it's fine. Because you know what? What you can do if it's down too much is that you can buy more, but only if you have enough money, right? So don't act on emotions, follow a proven strategy. And number 5, follow a proven strategy. So what's really important with a strategy is that number 1, you need to know these rules before you even consider buying into an assets. When to buy, how much money to invest, exactly where to sell with a profit, where to sell with a loss or buy more if that's your strategy. So those are the rules you need to know beforehand, which is also something you learn when you become an IM insider. So in conclusion, the Bitcoin halving event, and especially within a year before the halving, which is in 2023, then you can prepare to actually change your life financially, because that's what we did in the last bull market. Now, this is not financial advice, but it happened every single time. Are we putting all of our money in? No, because obviously we don't know. But we do believe that Bitcoin, with an increasing adoption, a higher adoption than the internet, not only that, it also has a limited amount of Bitcoin, 21 million, and the amount that is coming out is getting cut in half, and the level of people using it is increasing. So the only way for Bitcoin is up. That is what we believe. To summarize this here, so educate yourself on Bitcoin. Make sure you diversify your portfolio. Consider using long-term investment strategies. And also prepare for the volatility and embrace it. And number 5, make sure you use a proven strategy. So with that being said, don't forget to press the link below to become an IM Insider, so to ensure you learn now in these crucial times when and why it's time to invest into Bitcoin.